Landlords across Ontario are feeling the struggle, and a new housing bill passed at Queen's Park late 2025 might make the situation even worse. Some say it gives landlords more power, others say it barely fixes anything. But here's what almost nobody is talking about. It's the small landlords who are getting crushed the most. Let me break down exactly what's happening. I'm Kim from the Georgian Realty Team, and we help buyers and sellers across Southern Georgian Bay understand what's really happening in Ontario's housing market without the sugarcoating. And today's story affects thousands of families on both sides of the rental system. When Bill 60 passed back at the end of 2025, protests broke out at Queen's Park. Tenant groups are worried it will make evictions easier. Landlord groups say the system has been broken for years and desperately needs balance. Here's the reality: most tenants pay on time. Most landlords aren't corporations. They're ordinary people trying to hang on financially or build long-term wealth. But the small percentage of, let's call them, professional scam tenants can bankrupt a landlord, while the case drags through the landlord and tenant board for months and sometimes years. Right now, here in Ontario, a simple non-payment case can take 10 months, and that's with Bill 60 in place, and more complex cases can take 2 years before anything happens, 2 long years, while the landlord pays for everything. Let me give you 2 real examples showing how severe this problem is. Case 1, a single mom from Whitby. She needed to move back into her own home after a separation. Her tenants delayed the case for almost 2 years. She's been renting somewhere else while strangers live in the home she owns, trying to make her rent payments and still pay the mortgage on her home at the same time. Almost impossible. It's outrageous. Case 2. A Toronto family condo. The owner's retired parents were supposed to move in. The tenant refused to leave and demanded $25,000 to move out. This is what's known as cash for keys. 1.5 years waiting for a hearing. Still the owner, still paying carrying costs, still stuck. And cases like these are happening everywhere across Ontario, including right here in Southern Georgian Bay. Small landlords are being pushed to the edge. Here's what they're dealing with: mortgage renewals jumping 15-25%, higher insurance, higher taxes, higher maintenance costs, rents beginning to soften, and negative cash flow that keeps growing. If a tenant stops paying or delays the process or demands cash for keys, the landlord is stuck footing the entire bill. This is why so many small landlords are going broke and quietly selling before things get worse. Some landlord groups say Bill 60 is at least a step in the right direction: faster hearings, more resources for the tribunal, clearer rules for certain evictions. But let's be honest, it doesn't fix the core problem. It doesn't wipe out years of backlog. It doesn't help landlords already thousands in debt, and it doesn't stop delay tactics. It's a Band-Aid, not a solution. Right now, Ontario is facing a perfect storm: landlords losing money, tenants struggling with affordability, a tribunal system that's overwhelmed, rent softening in some areas, and mortgage renewals hitting hard. This is why so many landlords, including here in Southern Georgian Bay, are thinking seriously about selling, because when the numbers go negative and you can't get control of your own property, the system becomes impossible to survive in. If you're a landlord in Ontario right now, especially if you're barely breaking even, you need to take a hard look at your rental numbers and your renewal dates. If you want help understanding your options, whether to hold, sell, or restructure, you can book a call with me using the link below. Tell me in the comments what you're seeing in your area. Nightmare stories? Policies matter, but your stories matter more than what's coming out of Queen's Park. Bill 60 is now in play, but what does that really mean for you as a homeowner or investor? In my next video, I'm breaking down how to safeguard yourself and your rental properties, plus how to use these changes to your advantage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.